We are excited to introduce Lisa Stuckless from IBM. She's going to be sharing some information on IBM benefits and the path to the Maximo Application Suite and Manage 8.
Excellent. Well, good morning, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for allowing me to present here at the CanMUG. So what I'm going to do today is talk about the application suite. Of course, we've got our legalese here moving forward, but let's dive right into it. So the Maximo Application Suite, it is where we're moving what you guys know today as our EAM product in the application suite moving forward. If you hear the name manage, we are manage within the application suite. The application suite itself brought together all of the Maximo portfolio under IBM and brought it into the suite. So not only do we have our Maximo EAM products, which includes all of the industry solutions and our add-ons that are under manage, but we also have our APM products, our asset performance management products, which is monitor, health, and predict and assist. And IBM brought in a few other solutions into the suite as well, along with visual inspection and our safety solution. All of this, the application suite, not only bringing all of these solutions into the suite itself, but it is now on IBM Red Hat OpenShift solution. So it's all under this new infrastructure. It's all containerized utilizing Red Hat OpenShift. And we also have a few solutions that we have included entitlement to from our IBM Cloud Pak for Data to Watson Studio, Watson Machine Learning, Watson Discovery, our predict solutions and our assist solution use these AI solutions from Cloud Pak for Data. And it's all part of your application suite. And it's all entitlement. Not only do you get all of these solutions, you also get your entitlement to Red Hat. You get your entitlement to Cloud Pak that's utilized in Predict and Assist. And it is a hybrid cloud solution. So you can utilize it in IBM's cloud. You can push it over to AWS, or you can still have it on-prem, private, within your own solution as you want it today. The main focus here is our suite is broadened and it's all containerized now on Red Hat OpenShift. So let's look at the catalog. Those that have been on quite a few of my roadmap sessions that I've done at CanMUG Solutions through the past, you have seen a slide very similar to this where it was our EAM solutions with our industry solutions and add-ons. Now I want to talk about the application suite catalog, because when you go into the application suite and you start looking at all of the solutions, you have a catalog of what you can deploy. So these are your options. I just went through the top where it had manager, monitor, health, predict, visual inspection, assist, and safety. What you'll notice for manage is we have rolled in a few of our add-ons. So in our EAM space, these were considered add-ons. They're now just part of manage, whether it be scheduler, linear, spatial, or calibration. Spatial does have an install perspective to it, but from a user perspective of setting up your users, spatial is just part of manage. And then we also include our industry solutions. We include transportation, nuclear, utilities, oil and gas, aviation, and civil infrastructure. And if you're in the APM space with health and predict, we also have a utilities industry solution that can be utilized. From an add-on perspective, we still have asset configuration manager, HSE, service provider. We have our mobility, whether it be anywhere or our new Maximo mobile solution, which I'll talk to in a few slides later on in the deck. We have our spatial solution, and I have that as an add-on from an install perspective, not from a user perspective. And we also have installs for our ERP adapters, whether it be SAP or Oracle. So those are all considered add-on solutions. As part of your catalog, when you go into the application suite, We also have identified certain solutions that can be utilized within the application suite, but they are a separate part purchase depending on the area that you want to dive deeper into. Parts identifier is consistent with assist. It helps you identify the assets you are on. We have Omnio Edge that is part of monitor, and the Willard Smart Exit Sign part of safety that you can utilize with that. We also have integrations. We have an integration to our scheduler optimization solution. We also have MRO inventory optimization and our digital twin. So when you go into the application suite, this is the catalog that you have the ability to choose from. So how does this catalog work and where are we going with it? So the application suite, what we tried to do with the Maximo portfolio and brand is really look at improving the usability and a unified look across all of the Maximo portfolio. So whether you go into manage in the application suite, or you go into health, or you go into monitor, the look and feel is going to be very, very similar. It's a single entitlement across the entire suite. So you buy entitlement to the application suite. You don't purchase monitor separately or health separately. It is across the application suite itself. We also tried to ease the implementation utilizing OpenShift containers. This gives you the ability that if you want to bring it up on-prem and then eventually move to AWS, you have that choice. It's all containerized. You just move your containers over. And we also obviously want to provide our industry-leading capabilities and functionalities across EAM and across APM for you to utilize. So how does this simplified licensing and entitlement work? Your metric has changed from a licensing perspective. Previously in EAM, you would have been authorized users or concurrent users within the suite. That still applies, but they're not separate parts for transportation. It's not a separate part for scheduler. It's not a separate part for asset health. What it is one suite that you utilize with a pool of app points. So it's a pool of app points. It's a single license that you purchase for the application suite and a very flexible consumption model based upon how you set up your users within the application suite itself. So let's dive a little deeper into that. So we have a shared of app points. For example, I'm going to just, for sake of math, 1,000 app points. We have 1,000 app points that you have purchased to utilize the application suite. Within your environment, you may have concurrent users. These are the users that steadily log in and log out of the solution on a rotating basis, and they can basically share. They can share these app points as they log in and log out, and they're always rotating. For sake of argument, I'm going to say you have 500 app points dedicated to your concurrent application users, that those 500 app points are consistently rotating around this pool of app points. Then we have the installs. So I talked about the installs for spatial or ERP adapters. So let's say you have a connector to SAP. Those are 80 app points. So as soon as you activate your MAS instance, those 80 app points are removed from this pool, basically reserved. So now you have 420 app points left over for your administrators or your authorized users that are in the system all day long, that need to be in the system when they have to be in the system, and these are reserved. So these are named users within your solution, and those are 420 app points that can be utilized for your named reserved users. So this is how the shared pool of app points can be utilized within your solution. You can have concurrent that are constantly rotating for those 500 app points. You can have installs that are consistently running in behind the scenes, like your SAP connector. And then you can have your authorized users that are in the solution all day long, or your administrators that are administrating your solution all day long with reserved named users itself. So how does that get divvied up? within the application suite model. So our model has slightly changed as well. Let's start with our premium user. We have the concurrent user, that's 15 app points when they log in or log out. Authorized is 5 app points. Under a premium user, you have access to all of our industry solutions, all of our add-ons, Predict, Health and Predict utilities, and visual inspections. It's not when I log in as a premium user, I only have access to oil and gas. If your environment has installed not only oil and gas, but transportation as well, your users could have access to both of them, but I'm only going to charge you 15 app points if you're a concurrent user to log in, or 5 app points if you're an authorized user to log in to have access to those industry solutions. And it's very tiered level. So if I'm a premium user, not only do I have access to my industry solutions here under my column, but let's go to a base user. If I'm a base user, concurrent is 10 or authorized is 3, I have access to all of Manage, all of my modules that are within Manage, which now include calibration, linear, and spatial, and scheduler. So if you're a scheduler user, you have access as a base user to that module. Health or safety, I have access to all of these applications. And my premium user also has access to all of the applications as my base user. So it's very tiered leveled and it works its way down. So then I'm a base user. I can then have access to what a limited user has access to. A limited user is 5 app points for concurrent or 2 app points for authorized. This is very similar to our EAM methodology that we have today, that you have access to your 3 modules. Those 3 modules can be any 3 modules under Manage, Industry Solutions, or add-ons, except for the admin modules, which are like system config or organizations or et cetera. Those type of admin modules are not part of a limited user. A limited user is also mobile, whether it's our Maximo mobile solution or our Assist solution or anywhere, or a third-party mobile solution. Those are limited users, along with Monitor are limited users. And we have our self-service users. They can log in. Those are 0 app points when they log in itself. And then we have our installs, like I was talking about, whether it's the ERP adapters, whether it's our spatial. Civil infrastructure does have an install along with visual inspections, and so does, oh, I got to move my thing, so does Assist and Health and Predict and utilities. So that is how our current licensing model will work in the application suite moving forward. I also wanted to dive deeper into when you move into the application suite, what else do you get access to? And we have put into our Manage applications one of our #1 RFE requests. It's often referred to previously as asset cost rollup. We called it maintenance cost rollup in our Manage solution in the application suite. And it's really all around, it used to be a report. We moved that report now into an action item within the suite itself, within Manage, in order for you to go in and actually run these reports. And what it does is it actually goes in and rolls up these actual costs that you've utilized into a maintenance cost roll up itself. So that is one of the new feature functionalities that you will get within the application suite itself under Manage, is this roll up of these costs. No longer a report, it's now an action item. I also wanted to talk about some of our strategic directions for Maximo Mobile, and you'll hear me talk about, and as we move forward with our roadmap for Manage, role-based applications. We get a lot of comments on, well, what is Maximo Mobile? What are role-based applications? And I want to just take a step back and give it a bit of a history lesson for those that are new to Maximo or have been around for Maximo, to understand where we're going from a strategic direction, from a mobility perspective and a role-based application perspective. So A lot of our Maximo Mobile and RBA's role-based applications, we are borrowing a lot from Maximo Classic. Maximo Classic are those classic applications: work order tracking, asset, location, inventory. Those are our classic Maximo applications that we have out there. And they're all XML presentation based. Some of this is a little technical here, but bear with me as I work through the technical aspects of this and why we're moving towards Maximo Mobile and role-based applications. What we're also doing is utilizing REST APIs. As you move to the application suite, and as we have worked through Anywhere and our work centers and mobility, all of them are really expanded our REST API work that we have utilized throughout the many, many years. And that is the way we're going to be utilizing Maximo Mobile and role-based applications into the future, is with REST APIs and what we've learned and what we've utilized and built upon for many years around that. We're also got a lot of comments for Anywhere, and especially our work centers. When we built up our work centers, is I also need to have them online or offline, disconnected or connected capabilities. And that is what we've given Maximo Mobile the ability to do as you run them in the application suite, is the ability to either utilize them online or offline. What we're also doing is that same application that you can bring up on a mobile, you can also bring up in a browser. So you don't have to have two separate frameworks, two separate platforms. It can be utilized the same look and feel from a browser perspective, or same look and feel from a offline mobile perspective. We're also looking at utilizing the same tools to configure the applications. Not a different tool for Anywhere, not a different tool for work centers. One combined tool as we build these out in order to configure them. And we're also building out what we are calling a Maximo application framework for these Maximo Mobile and role-based applications, in order for us not only to develop them internally, but also externally for you guys, because we just heard in the last presentation they cloned an application and they modified it. Well, how can we clone Maximo Mobile applications or role-based applications, modify, utilize them within the managed solution itself? So a bit of a history lesson here, and why we took the strategic direction into Maximo Mobile and role-based applications. It's really building on the foundation that we learned about through our classic implementations, through Anywhere, through work centers, and now building an actual Maximo application framework for all of these new applications that are going into manage in the future. So Maximo Mobile was the first built around this application framework for manage within the application suite itself. It is really, you're going to see one application run role-based interface. So if I'm a technician or if I do inspections, that is how this application works. Intelligent workflows, follow the blue button. What we tried to do, and we got a lot of feedback on, is how to make these screens easy to follow, in order for the technicians, the inspectors, to understand what it is they need to enter in order to move on. And so that is what we've done with the quote, follow the blue button. Intelligent forms, configurability, that's really a highlight of a lot of the feedback we got, was they have to be configurable. How do I configure these applications? Another piece of feedback we got was, not only do I work in connected mode, but often I also need it to be in disconnected mode. I work offline. So how can I make that same application work in connected and disconnected mode? And of course, data quality and integrity. When you're working from a mobile solution, how do you make sure you keep that data integrity and real-time updates in order for you to have consistent data across your mobile device, and of course to your MAS instance? And then downloadable, whether it's from the Apple or the Google Store. So our roadmap to expand Maximo Mobile, we came out with the technician and the inspection app when we came out last year for these new solutions. Service Requester just came out in our release back in October, last week actually, October 26th was our latest MAS 8.6 release. We released Service Requester and work approvals. So two new Maximo Mobile applications were released last week in MAS 8.6. And then you'll see the team working on our supply chain applications and bringing them into Maximo Mobile. So we're working consistently, trying to get these mobile solutions out as quickly as possible into the application suite itself. You'll also see it has configuration under all of these applications that we're releasing. So I'll get a little further into our configuration tool of these applications in a couple of slides. So inspections. We started this off in work centers. A lot of the feedback was, of course, I need work centers inspections offline. So that's obviously one of the reasons why technician inspections was one of the first Maximo Mobile applications we brought into the suite. It really is consistent across the board of how you do create your inspections, how you enter the data in inspections. And again, you'll see this follow the blue button as we move forward when you enter in your information. Mobile approvals, work approvals. This is one of the new solutions that came out in 8.6. It is a queue basically of all the approvals that you can easily review them and approve them and then move on. And then of course, service requests. Service requests was one of the number one areas from a work center perspective that was actually utilized out there in the field. We brought over service requests into Maximo Mobile. And really, it is that streamlining of a service request, especially for those users that aren't Maximo users, that something is down, something has an issue, and how can I quickly create a service request into the system, submit it in order for something to be resolved quickly. So that was part of our 8.6 release as well. So let's talk about Maximo configuration. I kind of highlighted it a little when I alluded to classic XML. So this is an area that we got a lot of feedback on around configuration and how we configure our applications within Manage, within EAM. And the whole editing of XML was basically the number one, I would say, way of doing configurations that everyone preferred, whether it was customers, business partners, internal IBMers, GBS. This is the way the configuration of Maximo itself was preferred. So we went down that classic path that we've done for many, many years in our core classic applications and brought that into the Maximo application framework. As we build out this application, you're going to see more and more enhancements to the configuration. We started off tiny. We started off with an XML editing page, you know, how you upgrade, how you customize. What we're trying to do as we move to release is you will see more and more feature functionality around configuration. That soon it's going to be just an application that will have GUI type of drag and drop features functionality that you can utilize from a configuration perspective. Right now, it's a pretty technical. You do have to be a technical person to be updating and configuring because it's a lot of it is XML based, but hopefully soon within the next year or two, you will see this being built out by release in order for us to really get into that GUI type of feature functionality for configuration. But our 8.6 updates, you know, we now have a property editor. Those that have went into our app designer understand what our property editor is. We can delete applications. We've improved our serviceability, our sys information around this and framework improvements around our configuration. And basically all I got to say is we understand this is a number one priority for not only our customers, but also for our business partners to utilize Manage in the suite and you're going to see more and more configuration updates from release to release. Role-based applications. So this is what we're starting. You're going to see this bring into the suite in 2022. We're going to start off with our maintenance manager. Then you'll see the maintenance supervisor and operations manager. These are really an entry point into the application suite from a managed perspective. That is a dashboard that overviews everything that you want to see. And then really what this gives you is the look and feel, whether it's KPIs, whether it's charts, whether it's links back to a classic application like work order tracking. All of this is in one dashboard for your maintenance manager to utilize. So that is what we're working on for 2022 in the application suite. And I just wanted to take a step back, and I know I'm zipping through this quickly because I could spend hours talking to you about this, but I know I'm on a timeline here in order to bring this session to you. But you know, a lot of what I saw based upon the survey, a lot were on 760 and 761. And so the question we get is, well, what to expect if I need to move to manage? What is my upgrade process supposed to look like? How big of a time, effort is it, or impact is it for me to upgrade to manage? Well, overall, especially from a data perspective, there are absolutely no database changes. We supported Oracle 19c and 7612. That is still supported in Manage in the application suite. We supported SQL Server 2019. That is supported in the application suite. DB2 11.5, that is supported in the application suite. We have introduced database DB2 Warehouse. So you have the option to move to DB2 Warehouse if you want in the application suite, but we're not making you move to that database structure. So from an EAM perspective, your database can stay the same as you move into the application suite. One nuance that does change moving into the application suite, because we're a suite now within a whole bunch of other of the Maximo portfolio itself, you're actually logging in at the suite level. You're not logging in at the manage level. You're logging in at the suite level. So your authentication and your user repository is now at the suite level. We do have the ability as you upgrade to sync your current users in manage up to the application suite itself. But that is one change that you should be aware of, is authentication is at the MAS level, not at the managed level. And then, of course, from an infrastructure perspective, I talked about Red Hat OpenShift deployment. That is how you deploy the application suite moving forward utilizing Red Hat OpenShift. So there is an infrastructure change with that. So from a technology migration, like I said, your install, your deploy, your configuration of your environment is all around the OpenShift operators. Security and user management is at the MAS level. Your server is WAS Liberty. Your integrations are REST API, but we still support, Kafka JMS, or, that is still supported within the application suite itself. You're going to see, however, a new modernized user experience. The look and feel is going to be different than the 761 environment over to the application suite. There's still, there is a new skin. There is new navigation. I talked about the new mobile experience. And from a serviceability perspective, we've improved a lot of the logging options and monitoring options out there. For those in the audience that are IT people, or for those that are just wanting to understand exactly what this upgrade process is, there is a playbook out there. The link will be in the deck that you will have access to. So I highly recommend you going into the playbook. It is a live document. As more and more clients move, as more and more information is fed back to us, we will be updating that upgrade guide as we progress through more and more upgrades, as you, our customers, and as our business partners implement you, our customers, into the application suite. We learn more as we go along. So this, as I stated, this playbook is a live document that we update on a regular basis. So from a release schedule, when we came out with the application suite a year or so ago, it was on a quarterly basis. So each quarter you would see a new release. We are reeling that back in 2022. You will see 3 releases next year. So you should see one in Q2, I believe one in Q3, and another in Q4. So you will see multiple releases next year. It does drive a lot of feature functionality. And as I stated, not only is it the EAM portion that you're going to see moving forward into this roadmap, but whether it's our APM products or our technician products, our industry solutions, all of those have their individual roadmap as well moving forward into the application suite. And then I also wanted to highlight our release schedule. I do want to give you, our customers, a heads up as to what our support cycle is. So those that are on 7.6.0, hopefully you were aware that we did end support in September of 2021. We announced it way back in 2020, the end of support of the EAM 7.6.0 version in September of 2022. So we are going to be announcing sometime in 2022 our tentative end of support date for 7.6.1 is September 2025. So something for you guys to be aware of as you're planning your projects, as you're planning hopefully your migration up to the application suite. I just wanted you guys to be aware of our effective dates around the end of support of our 7.6.1 cycle. And with that, any questions that are coming in at all?
Hi, Lisa. Thank you so very much. Lisa Stuckless with IBM, everyone. We do have a question, and if there's any other questions, please put them in the question box. We have a question from Aaron Dibben. He says, does IBM have a plan to merge calibration with inspections?
So we are looking at bringing that into the new application framework. That is on the roadmap to start that work in 2022. I wouldn't say it's totally 100% combined with inspections, but if you view the way the inspections work, you will see something very similar for calibration moving forward.
Okay, great, thank you. Stephen Cook says, after September 2025, will we be forced to MAS?
Well, for you have the ability to purchase extended support for another 3 years on 7.6.1 after 2025. Our next release with all of the new feature functionality that I talked about today will be in MAS moving forward.
Okay, great, thank you. There is a question from Ben Graham. What is the license structure for the new Maximo Mobile? Will it be points or a license per user?
It is a limited user. So if you are only a technician or an inspector and are only using Maximo Mobile, then you are classified as a limited user. And if you're a concurrent user, that is 5 app points. If you're an authorized user, that is 2 app points when you log in and log out of the solution.
Okay, great, thank you. Yogesh asks, does the update to MAS 8 keep all the customization?
Customization or configuration. So if it's configuration and that configuration is stored in your database, we are not changing databases. So that comes across with your upgrade to the application suite. Now, customizations are dependent on how you customized the application, how you customized EAM. And those will definitely have to be brought across, be part of your images as you build out your MAS instance, and then tested. I can't guarantee that every customization you've done, depending on what it is, will work or not work. That's definitely something that will need to be tested in the application suite. That link to the upgrade guide actually talks about configuration and customization. So I highly recommend you check that out and dive deeper into those scenarios.
Okay, great, thank you. Steve Chakowski asks, what lessons learned from the change of the look and feel of 760 to 761 were applied to the change of the look and feel to MAS 8?
Totally different. I'll give you a background about IBM. Across all of IBM software, it is Carbon 10 PAL designs that we have a whole team creating the Carbon 10 PAL designs for the application suite itself. You will see that is our new skin, our new look and feel moving forward into manage, monitor, health, predict. Everybody is using this new design from IBM. And if you go to a different IBM product, they will be utilizing the same color scheme, same, tables, same toggle buttons, same whatever. So it is different, but it is a IBM standard now on our design that we're utilizing across the board.
Okay, thank you. Nicole Lee asks, where can we get more product information for the transportation add-on?
Well, that is great. Well, I don't know if you work with a business partner. All of our business partners that are part of CanMUG can certainly help you out with understanding the transportation add-on. If not, I'm sure my email must be somewhere. Send me an email, or if somebody can put it into the chat for everybody, lss@ca.ibm.com. Send me an email, and I'll be happy to hook you up with our transportation SME.
Great, I'll go ahead and put that in for you. So Kevin Ruddock says, if we are starting our mobile journey today against 7612, should we invest in Maximo Mobile or anywhere?
So if you are just starting out, now I want to be clear, we're still supporting Anywhere. Anywhere is still supported, whether it's in 761 or in the application suite, that we can certainly, move forward with Anywhere. If you are new and starting out, we are giving you the ability to actually utilize Maximo Mobile in your 7612 environment. I would highly recommend that you talk to your salesperson, talk to your business partner around utilizing Maximo Mobile within your 7612 environment, especially if you're just starting out, because that will transition you into the application suite when you move there from a managed perspective.
Okay, great, thank you. I think we have time for one more. Yogesh asks, is there a demo instance to see MAS 8, to browse it, to check it out?
Currently, there is not, but we get this question a lot, and I know the team is working in order to give you that ability to check it out. I would also say, talk to your sales guy, see how we can do an eval. If you want to just do an eval of the application suite and check it out and understand how it would work for your environment, your company, your corporation. So your sales guys are there. Please utilize them. Your business partners are there as well. And they're more than happy to help you out if you have any questions around the application suite. I was also prompted to say, talk to your sales guy about transportation add-on as well. I missed them when I said talk to a few people. So yes, business partners, your sales reps, they can all help you out.